test prep. We go over knowledge test questions, and we help people who go through extreme emotional trauma and anxiety. I want to welcome you in. We have 16 questions for beginning drivers class. I'm going to go ahead and get into it. Driver's education is a customer service industry. There is a shortage of instructors. So I want you to know that you need to be patient when your instructor is taking the time to identify his or her schedule. We have to juggle family life, maybe another job, but you are the priority. So be patient when you're scheduling drives. Typically, when I'm dealing with young adults, they don't know their schedule. Mom and dad, you know their schedule. So I always tell all of my clients, talk to your caregiver because you will be the one dropping them off at the school, at the restaurant, at the driver's education third party facility because we work, right? Many of you are driving to work. If you have an early morning drive, a 6 to 8 a.m., you might have to get up at 5 o'clock. This summer, I did that 6 to 8, and it was a little bit hard getting up at 5, or maybe sometimes 4:45, getting up, looking at my schedule, planning my day, gassing up the driver's education car, vacuuming it out, having it looking neat and clean and crispy. But ultimately, there are clients who want to get up early. I have my schedule set up in 2-hour blocks. It depends on the company and depends on the instructor. Sometimes I drive 3 students, sometimes I drive 4. We rotate driving every half an hour because we want to make sure you're mentally focused on driving. Because when you're learning how to drive, you can be very overwhelmed with cars, people, and you can be overwhelmed. Number 2, you want an instructor who's going to train you properly. If your instructor is simply just driving you in a straight line down a road, down a thoroughfare, you're not really learning how to drive, okay? You have to learn how to drive. You should be making right turns, left turns. You should be starting in the parking lot, learning lane positioning, turning hand over hand in, turning hand over hand out. We want to teach vision. You want to have vision in the turns. A lot of beginners are so overwhelmed. And if you're a beginner right now, you need to be listening, you need to be following, you need to be subscribing. When you're learning how to drive, you're looking down at your hands because we tend to think, is the steering wheel going to disappear? The steering wheel will not disappear. You need to wear thin-soled shoes. I'm giving you some inside information, so you need to listen. We're going over the 16 things that beginning drivers need to know to help you. I'm a state certified driving instructor. We're on number 2. Number 2 is when you are getting in that car, does your instructor show you how to get in the car and adjust your seat? When I get a client, I always talk to their parent. They're very nervous. I ask the parent, the client, the caregiver, is this your first one through? Is this your second one through? Is this your third one through? And then I base some of my decisions on how I'm going to coach them and how I'm going to train them. I also want to ask your parent, your caregiver, what they do for a living. We have a conversation. We build a community because that's really important because for the next 6, 8, 10, or 12 lessons, you're going to be trusting your son or daughter with me. And I have a FBI clearance. I'm a state certified instructor. Every 2 years, they do a background check. So it's important that you feel comfortable with your instructor. Your instructor should be giving you feedback at the end of the drive. Hey, I thought you made a good parallel park. You turned that wheel really nice. I thought I asked you to reverse parallel park. That was awesome. They should be very enthusiastic. And if you've seen any of my content, I speak from the heart because I'm very passionate about driving and I make a lot of content to prepare you for your road test, to prepare you for in-car, to prepare you for your knowledge test, and to prepare you to feel comfortable and go over anxiety. They have to train you. You should be making 12 right turns, 12 left turns. You should be backing in driveways, pulling out of driveways, starting in the school parking lot or the business parking lot where the driving school is. Once you feel comfortable, you're going to learn lane positioning. kind of like walking down the hallway in school or a community college. We're in America. We drive on the right side of the road. If we were in the UK, we would drive on the left. Our steering wheel in American cars is on the left side. I teach my students to have good lane positioning, so starting in that parking lot is very important. Or starting in the neighborhood, but neighborhoods can be tricky too because you have a lot of kids and you have people working on their yards. Number three, you have to have communication with your instructor. As soon as you feel comfortable, we'll talk, we'll set up some guidelines. Well, I want you to work on your speed control. We're going to get out on the main road. Your instructor knows the time of day you should be going out and what are some of the associated dangers. What are some of the associated dangers? Maybe in the morning's rush hour. People don't want to see us. They get away from us. Some people aggressively tailgate us. I'm not going to overwhelm you with that information. All that's going to make you do is just lock up on the wheel. And if you lock up on the wheel, you won't have a good experience. You're going to have more stress and anxiety. That's going to make people in the back seat stressful. They're going to have anxiety. I can't tell you how many times I've seen beginning drivers just zone out and lock up. So my job is to help you navigate through that stress, through that anxiety. It depends on what you need. Some people need me to talk them through. You need verbal instructions. Your instructor really has to teach you how to drive. They have to comfort you. Am I okay to pull out? Yes. Is it clear behind me? Yes. Can I get over one lane? Yes. You want to see your student, your client, your son, your daughter, check their mirrors, the center inside mirror, the driver's side mirror, mirrors, turn signal, blind spot. But beginning drivers look over the wrong shoulder. Believe it or not, if I tell you to make a lane change to the right, you look over your left shoulder. So we want to give you subtle reminders. Good instructors are always trying to make you better. They're patient. And if your instructor's not patient, not teaching you, why are you even taking the lesson? Because you're going to look at some of my content, you're going to say, wow, he's really teaching those students. He's teaching them in class. He's teaching them in the car. He showed the client how to merge on the expressway. So you're going to see a clear difference in a matter of a few minutes. Fourth, it's important that you have the student's perspective. These are young people. They're absorbing information. They're on social media. They're watching their mom. They're watching their dad. It's really important that you understand that what you say sometimes can stress them out. And occasionally beginning drivers do get stressed out. So you want to kind of calm yourself down, kind of simmer down a little bit so they can understand the goal. You want to have a care plan. Mind, body, and soul. We want to train the mind first. We want to train the mind in good habits. What does a good turn look like? Turning hand over hand, looking where you want to go. You have to teach these steps in progression. Yes, 1 in 100 can get in the car, can drive. Their mom and dad have took them out in the back roads. They have ATVs. They know how to drive four-wheelers, but that is very few. You still have to be very careful if you have a client that can drive pretty well because you don't let your guard down and have an accident. Number 5, good instructors don't make last-minute decisions. I have a route plan. We're going to start in the school parking lot. We're going to start in the driver's education parking lot. We're going to go into the neighborhood. We're going to spend a minimum of 10 minutes in that area, working on turns, working on speed control, feeling comfortable. And once I see vision in the turn, this is me turning and turning hand over hand, looking to the right. These are some of the cues that I'm showing you that you should be doing. If you're scared to look, and that's what beginning drivers do, they're scared to turn their head, you're not really driving yet. You're just kind of absorbing the information. Number 6, your instructor will be taking you in downtown areas, downtown Detroit, Michigan, downtown Houston, Texas, downtown Los Angeles, California. It doesn't matter where you are. I'm in the Midwest. You want to get that client comfortable pulling out onto the road, and beginning drivers judge distance very poorly. So what's going to happen? They're going to pull out in front of a car. As an instructor, I know this, but mom and dad or future driving student, you do not want to scare your parent, because if you scare mom and dad, they're not going to want to take you on the road. They'll say, no, I'm done. You're scared. Honey, can you take Junior out? He's really scaring me. Or honey, can you take our daughter out because she is not ready and I'm getting frustrated? Your parents are not driver's ed instructors. You need to be looking at my information from that perspective of a parent, of a coach, of an instructor. Maybe me being your uncle, having that calm, chill voice, having a good sense of humor to help you. Number 7, good instructors are fun. They make it very engaging. Why are you even taking driver's ed if it's not fun? Well, I'm 27. I need to take driver's ed. My parents are tired of taking, your parents are tired of taking you around. So you need to start planning for yourself. Typically, people who watch this type of content are 15 to about 45. They like the lessons that I do, the in-car, the test prep, driver's education maintenance, maybe a barometer of what's going on in the community. People drive very fast coming in the morning. They drive very fast going home. They drive very fast on the weekend. So what am I saying to you? People drive very fast. We will be in the middle lane. The middle lane is the smooth lane. We want to be in a smooth lane that allows traffic to move past us. If we're in the left lane and we're under speed, 10 under, we're making people mad. There's a road rage situation. People are road raging because we're too slow. And you don't know this. I know this as your teacher. I'm trying to encourage you to push the gas, make conversation, but you lock up on that gas pedal. I've seen it. I'm giving you a perspective of what I see as an instructor. So you're saying to yourself, wow, this is a lot going on. I've got to calm down. And I see that with my students, but I support you. And the good thing, my current leader says, I want to support you. And I want to support you. Number 8, positive reinforcement. Your instructor should always giving you a plan. You want to have a plan to improve. How do I improve? Well, I need you to have better speed control on your next lesson. I need you to look left and right before you make your right turn. Last time we pulled out in front of a truck, right? We pulled out in front of a truck. How does that sound? Because that's what beginning drivers will do because they're so overcome with fear and anxiety. So I have to create that visual demonstration for you. And I want you to go up to the edge of the road. If you turn too fast, you're going to go over the curb and hit a light pole. If you turn too slow and go too wide, you're going to go in the wrong lane. Beginning drivers often turn in the wrong lane. Parents, students, clients, if you're getting value, you need to be following me. You need to be subscribing to this channel. You need to be looking at all this content. Next, number 9. We want to share stories of the journey of learning how to drive. Example, I had a client. She is a professional racer, bike racer. A person opened the door on her. She flipped over. She broke her collarbone, knocked out 3 of her teeth. There's something called the Dutch reach, where you use your right hand and to reach and open the door. My responsibility as an instructor is to teach the next generation, to teach that 16 to 46-year-old, to teach someone who's had emotional trauma, because good instructors have empathy toward other people. And by me sharing some of this journey, I will help you. Number 9, in-class structure. I'm a state certified instructor. I'm in education. I'm a teacher. Are the lessons structured? Do we have a do now? Do we have classwork? Do we have an objective? Does the instructor give you time in class to work? The answer is yes, yes, and yes. Now, I go a step and above beyond. I use Quizzy. I have proprietary questions that I put together through my proprietary information to prepare you to pass your test. Tonight, we're going to be taking our state test. My clients are very nervous, they're overwhelmed, but from day 1, we've been testing with Quizzy, with Kahoot, with other proprietary games that I put together. If this sounds like something you want me to put together for your driver's education facility or company, you need to reach out to me because I would love to do that. Those prep test questions will help you prepare to pass your test. It's high structure, high stress, high anxiety. I have a lot of young people who've never been in a testing situation like this. I see tears, I see frustration, I see sadness because the reality is some of us procrastinate. Number 10, does the driver's ed company have an evaluation sheet to rate you? One, two, and three. One, needs improvement. Two, improving. Three, okay to proceed. We need feedback. And there's an evaluation sheet that I use. And if you want me to talk about that and give you more details and share it with you, you need to leave comments. You need to reach out to me because I can make a video on this. That gives our young drivers or old drivers or middle-aged drivers or drivers, period, knowledge. You need feedback on how to get better. Just like I'm telling you the 18 questions or 16 questions, you need to know to prepare yourself. Number 10, feedback, talking to the parent, talking to the company, dealing with information to help your student get better. We need to mix up the time when we drive. If you drive in the morning, I'd like you to drive in early afternoon. If you drive in the early afternoon, I need you to drive in the evening. We want a balanced approach to give you different elements of driving. That is so important that you have a balanced approach. In the morning, we have people hustling, going to work, higher speeds. In the afternoon, it's more chilled. In the evening, it's more chilled. So I like to mix up. We drive year round. Number 11, is your instructor driving at different times of the day, different times of the year? We drive in the winter, we drive in the spring, we drive in the fall. Every driver's ed company is a little bit different. So it's really important that you balance that relationship and talk to the company. Number 12, you want to go in and examine the driver's ed company. I've been with companies, our pictures posted on the wall with our state certification number. That looks so professional. Is the office clean? Do they have younger workers, older workers? Is it set up for a digital involvement? Is it pencil and paper? There's nothing wrong with pencil and paper. Many state driver's education state elements are going toward a digital piece where you upload your driver's education certificate, you upload your birth certificate, you upload your social security number. This creates a digital folder, and then once the tests are taken, and I check them right in front of your face, I can share that too, you let me know, then they're dropped to the main office because we have 4 weeks, we have 6 weeks. This is a time-sensitive industry. These documents have to be there. And once the attendance roster is turned in, let's pretend this is the attendance roster. Once the attendance roster is turned in, that's it for the state. If I make a mistake, you're going to have to make up day 12. If I make a mistake, you're going to have to make up day 2. If I did make a mistake and you have all your drives in and you passed your test and your attendance is good, guess what? In 3 to 10 days, you're going to get your digital certificate. So slowly, the driver's education industry with the state element is evolving to a digital showcase. Currently, we do our tests on pencil and paper. I could see in the next 12 to maybe 24 months, it's going to be all digital where you log into a secure server with your phone. Number 13, is your instructor building that relationship and really happy to see you? Or are they simply just going through the motions? When I teach students how to drive, I'm generally happy because a smile is from my heart. I encourage you to live your best life, and I want to say hi to your parents. And then I explain to my clients, okay, I want you to work on your turns today. Let's drive up and down the aisles for about 5 minutes. Let's warm up that muscle memory. I want to see you looking, turning. Let's keep your turn small. Instructors need to look at the road. Here's another inside piece. If your instructor's watching you, the car will crash. I should see you through my left eye, but I have to watch what the car's doing. We have dual brake controls. Here's another thing that you don't know. We have brakes on our side. We don't have a steering wheel. We have dual mirrors and dual brakes to ensure safety. Does your instructor argue with you? Does your instructor make mistakes? We all make mistakes, but you need to own your mistake. Drop the attitude at the door. Your instructor should encourage you to be thorough, to live your best life. Number 14, visual demonstrations. Is your instructor considerate? Do they understand? Well, I have a dance recital, I have a bar mitzvah. My coach wants me to stay after to look at film. Okay, let me look at my schedule. I might have to change around your driving time. We are human, but once the schedule is set, let's keep this schedule. Next, number 14, you want to make sure that you commit to your schedule. There's a $35 cancellation fee. And for many young adults, this is their first time really making a commitment to something. And if your parent overschedules you, please listen, parents, please listen, students. If you're overscheduled, you're going to be overwhelmed. I have clients right now that are overwhelmed. I have young men who are trying to get a scholarship for baseball. I have young ladies who are dancers trying to get that dance scholarship. So you want to have the balance. You want to find a balance to allow your son or daughter to thrive, not rush them and get them prepared. You want to make sure that they are comfortable and do their best. So I always talk to the parent, I always talk to the guardians. I'll tell you another story. Grandparents are brutally honest. How you doing, instructor? Is your son or daughter ready? Your grandson? Yes, they're ready. They speak truth. Listen to your grandparents, listen to your parents, and listen to your instructor. Next, understand the goal. We're trying to teach you how to drive. If this brought you value, follow, subscribe, leave a comment. I will go live later today. Bye, guys.